In 5, 4, 3, 2, son of a bitch, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Genius Brain Podcast. How you guys doing? Chilling? Good.
I hope you're doing wonderful because we are doing fantasmimo.
Yo, it's been mad cold in LA, dude.
It was 40 degrees last night.
It's funny because when we say that, I understand in Wisconsin, Minnesota, it's negative 12. But LA, we're used to 60-degree winters, and it is 40 degrees, 35 degrees. That's super uncommon here. And it's cold. And I'll tell you this right now, I lost 60 pounds. I shiver now. My teeth chatter. I never had that before.
I challenge Canadians and all these below zero people to come down because I have a friend from Toronto, and then she was making fun of me, for all the 40 degree, 50 degree stuff, right?
Yeah.
She came and visited one of our winters, and she was like, "Holy shit, it is cold here." And the reason why is because they acclimate to the cold, so their days don't become 70. Where our days are like 70, and at night it's like 40 or 50.
Yeah.
So that dramatic drop is pretty damn crazy. So you go from walking around with a t-shirt to at night you're shivering even with like layers on.
So that's what it is.
It's our bodies dramatically drop in temperature.
Dude, I didn't even know because of the weight loss, like how people get cold so easy.
You're like a shivering chihuahua now.
Yo, that shit that you learn in what's it called, like science about bears and having fat and not being cold is true in humans too.
Yeah.
I didn't shiver at all, dude. If you go back to some of our vlogs when we were in Japan, Bart and I were in a t-shirt sometimes, and we were chilling outside. It was like 20 degrees outside, bro, and we did not care. We were just walking around like it was cool, like it was all good. And then now I'm bundled up. I'm wearing pants all the fucking time. When do you look at this shit, bro? This is pants, son. Yeah, and then
You don't have the layer of protection.
I don't. Like I'm wearing sweaters. I'm wearing sweaters and jackets on top of that shit, and I'm drinking hot tea.
I kind of like the cold though. Now, when I was skinny as fuck, like 120 pounds, I'm a fucking trembling chihuahua, man. I am not cool with that. I hated it, dude. I just wanted to stay in bed all day. There's this whole movement now too with the cold showers and the fucking living in the cold thing.
It's supposed to be like a health thing, right? It's supposed to be good for you or some
there's
shit.
supposed to be a lot of good benefits, I guess, with the shot of adrenaline.
I like hot showers. I like hot showers whether it's in winter or summer.
Me too. I like burn my skin. I'm fucking try to boil me, man.
I feel it's because if I take a cold shower, I'm still dirty.
The grease don't come off.
Exactly. I'm a greasy ass motherfucker too, by the way. Greasy as hell.
If I don't take hot showers, the grease doesn't melt off.
Yeah.
And I need that shit to melt because I feel like it just stays in my body and I start layering grease.
100%.
It's like I'm lathering my body with lard and shit.
Yeah, I've had, when I went back to Sacramento, like I had, it's funny because I haven't seen my friends in a minute, right? I haven't seen them in so long and they're so used to Fat David.
Really, it's been that long since you lost weight and then you went back up.
Like, a whole year. It's been a whole year. Like I hadn't been back in a whole year, and I don't really think about stuff like that too much. And they're just like, whoa, like you lost so much weight, and I think it's such a shock for them because, for a majority of my life, anyways, a few times where I flexed, I wasn't so big.
Yeah.
But it was a shock for them, and they weren't used to it. You know what I mean? And I'm only slowly starting to get used to it. Sometimes, like when I walk by a mirror, I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Damn.
Like I don't.
Who's this skinny motherfucker?
Yeah, I mean, I still got a long way to go, but the health thing has helped out a lot for sure. Shout out to Joe Rogan, and bringing what's his face, David Goggins on.
Is he what he motivated you? Was he one of the first?
He gave that spark back into it, and he helped me kind of put it in reality. He gave me a reality check, right? So the cool thing about David Goggins is in his story, it's about a man who is not special doing special things.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of
And
the
he
times...
was fat too.
Yeah. And people feel sometimes that you have to be a specific type of person to do certain things that other people are doing. And I think that's true in certain cases and true and not in other cases.
Yeah, dude, totally. Because I thought for the longest time, I thought I was not athletic.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not built that way.
Yeah.
I'm just not genetically like... But it doesn't matter if you are or you aren't. Like, there's a lot of joy that comes from being active.
It's the same concept of when people who don't want to go karaoke, right? They go, oh, I can't sing. That's not what karaoke is about. It's not about singing, dude.
It's about making a fool out of yourself and enjoying the moment.
Yeah, it's singing your heart out.
Yeah.
Arguably, if you sing worse, it's 10 times better.
People love it.
It's way better.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to see somebody go out there and start doing hella crazy runs.
Yeah, it's like, shut up, you fucking show off.
Like, I'm not...
Go on American Idol.
Yeah, when I do karaoke, I choose a Bruno Mars song because I know I can't sing it. 100%. And it's 10 times more fun that way, man. I'm not trying to show people how dope I am at this shit. I'm trying to have fun, man.
It's all about performing like you're just air guitaring and shit. Like you're just doing it.
Dude, karaoke is like a huge part of Asian culture, man. Filipinos, Japanese, and Koreans, we love karaoke to the max. It's like our biggest pastime. You get drunk, you get a bunch of fucking snacks and foods, and you just start singing your ass off.
It's like Guitar Hero before Guitar Hero.
Oh, that's exactly what it is, dude. Filipino people always got that microphone that's already built in with all the buttons, and it's
with a square thing.
Yeah,
and it has like crazy reverb, like you could hear it from 2 blocks away.
And the worst sound system attached to it, you know,
it's like it echoes like crazy too. Hello, 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 hello.
I have a friend of mine who I actually might bring on this podcast. She always tells me about her dad. Her father was a performer in like the Philippines. Like he was in entertainment. I think he did like theater or singing or some shit.
Damn.
And so every time before they have a family party, he practices before he gets to karaoke for them. Fuck. Like he has to get his sessions in before because he
does like ma.
Like he practices. He has a set list before he goes up and does karaoke at a family party because he might get discovered.
I love it. That's what he thinks. Like an agent's gonna be like, oh my god, I've been waiting for this sound.
Yeah, like he'll come to LA and he goes, I have to go karaoke because if I don't, how am I going to get discovered? I have to go out there and people have to see my talent.
But it's just among family and friends.
Yeah, man. And the guy is so fucking funny, man. Like
it's a talent show within family.
Karaoke is serious to him.
There's a lot of people that take karaoke fucking serious though.
Oh, it's
like real serious.
That and like for Korean people, it's it's karaoke and church volleyball. Fucking aggressive church volleyball, dude. Did you ever go to a Korean church before?
I visited some. Yeah.
Every summer, there's a couple of things that happen, dude.
I've been to some summer camps and stuff, but I'd never played the games with them. Yeah.
So in Sacramento, they would do this thing. I'm not sure if they still do it now, where all the churches from all the Korean churches in Sacramento would meet up and have a volleyball tournament. Oh. But it was the most un-Christ-like thing ever, dude, because they would be cursing. Like some of the pastors would be like, dude, I swear, like, I'm just going to kick this dude's ass. It's like,
damn.
Oh, the religion is being thrown out the door when it's time to win, son. Like they would get upset.
Damn.
Unreal, dude. They would be saying like some unreligious shit to each other.
Wow.
I would crack the fuck up. They would take it seriously.
So it would be like all these denominations of Korean churches that come together?
Yeah, Presbyterian, Baptist, just all these Korean churches coming together.
But they're all like, so like one time out of the year, that's the only time they come?
During the summer. And then we would have our church volleyball battles, dude.
That's funny.
And they would get mad, man.
It's almost like they're battling whose denomination is better. Yeah. Like Christ got the Baptists back.
There was a trophy, those trophies too, at the end of it. They got really serious with it.
It's supposed to be like a gathering of like fun.
No, it was absolutely not. They were talking mad shit to each other, dude.
Have you guys ever did camp meetings?
Oh, we did church camp shit, yeah.
Yeah, like, but so like the church I grew up was Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a lot of different races, right? But then like we'll have one that's like everybody.
Yeah.
That's like every race of every church comes down and then sometimes they'll just be like a Japanese one or like a Korean one or whatever. But did you guys come from an organized group like that or like?
I don't know if we did that where we did a lot of cultural mixing, just because we had half the church was people who couldn't speak English.
Yeah.
So it was just more difficult. It was just difficult.
But did your organization have like a committee and like a huge?
Oh yeah. So Presbyterians have deacons.
Yeah.
And they kind of...
And then you kick the money all the way up, like the Catholic Church, right?
Yeah, and so they figure out what to do with the money, the funds, who gets paid.
But was it just one church or did it have like national...
I don't think so. I don't think it was national.
So you guys were like independent.
Independent.
I see. Yeah.
Is Seventh-day Adventist not like that?
It's worldwide, dude.
Oh shit, I didn't know
That's why George, Pink Dick George from Tiger Belly?
Yeah.
He grew up Seventh-day Adventist. But we both have very similar stories and upbringings and stuff. but he grew up in like Virginia or something. But
Yeah.
we know like there's national universities, like Loma Linda University, that medical school.
Yeah.
That's a Seventh-day Adventist school.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. There's like, there's a lot of universities, private colleges, schools all over the country. And so regionally, like we just have these things called camp meetings, and it's just like you camp together and you worship together and shit like that.
What is the difference between a Seventh-day Adventist and a traditional, like let's say a Presbyterian or Baptist, like Protestant?
Well,
Church.
Seventh-day Adventist, I would say it's more a little bit offshoot Christianity, like how Mormonism and Jehovah's Witness, and they have a prophet, right?
Yeah.
So in that similar light, we have a prophet by the name of LMG White.
Well, that is the most basic name
I know,
that
right?
shit threw me off right now, dude. That is the most basic religious name I've ever heard in my life, dude. LMG White?
Yeah, it's a lady.
Sounds like she plays a saxophone on Saturdays at a cafe.
It's like
Oh shit.
it's like a jazz musician.
Yeah. My name is LMG White, and today we gonna play some smooth ass jams for you, baby.
Yeah. And I mean, like, how like the Mormons or whatever, they have their own like person.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's a little bit different from, I think, evangelical and Baptist and Presbyterian, because they don't have, like, what do you call it? Like, I don't think they have a prophet, or they don't have a person that is the leader, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, like Lutheran has like Martin Luther, but he's just like a renegade monk. He's not like
Yeah.
He didn't personally get like instructions from God.
Yeah.
But like what I mean by prophet is more like people that say they personally got instructions from God. And I would say like Mormons,
yeah. Like Muhammad.
Jehovah's Witness, there's and then Seventh-day Adventists, and then there's like all these offshoot Christianity groups that has a prophet that says that they have a direct message from God. So our prophet, and I say our like because I'm not a part of the religion, but what I grew up in, so that's why I refer to it as our. But then like LMG White, she basically had dreams, visions, or communications from God Himself, telling her all these other things. And one of the things is like they're kind of traditionalists and purists in the way of like being more emphasized in the Old Testament.
Oh, so like in terms of like dietary stuff, like they're not eating bottom feeding shit like shrimp and pork and
So they're more, I say, like closer to Judaism, because they focus so much more in the Old Testament than the New Testament.
So it's a lot more ritualistic.
Very ritualistic. Okay. And then also like she has her own things where like I think one of them was like, oh, you gotta go worship on the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Because that's what God intended it to be instead of the Sunday. I think it turned Sunday like after the Roman Catholics took over or something. But I don't know, man. There's all these other things and rules. But a lot of it is rules. A lot of it is rules.
Is there a huge Japanese community within like the Seventh-day Adventists?
Well,
I don't know a single Korean Seventh-day Adventist. Albeit I don't know that many Koreans.
There are Korean Seventh-day Adventists though.
I know a shit ton of Korean Jehovah's Witnesses. As they would always come to my house, and my dad would invite them in, and she goes, "Let's talk," and they go, "No, we're okay," because my dad, he studied like Christian theology.
Yeah.
He was a pastor.
Yeah.
So he has.
So they felt annoyed of him.
Oh, 100%. Because he would sit down. My mom would make a meal, and they would sit down and talk to each other.
Let's talk God, then. What's up?
Yeah, that's basically like, yo, let's talk some Jesus Christ, homie.
He's all excited. Like he's all trying to it's like he's trying to convince them to join his shit, and it's like,
oh, we have to go. It's like, no, please sit down. I'm like, you guys fucked up, dude. You came into the wrong house. My dad could talk for days about this shit, dude. The guy, dude, if you walk into our house, there's literally like 4 bookshelves filled with just Christian theology that he read.
Well, he's a pastor. That's his thing, right? Damn.
Yeah. That's fucking wild, man.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I think a huge part of religion for immigrants too is community building. Like before the internet, before like cell phones and things like that, right? Like the community was so bonded and strong that like if you needed to find someone within the church, you could find someone.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I mean, some people grow up their whole lives going to these private schools within the church and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So like, you know, my mom has lifelong friends and shit like that. Like,
yeah, I don't know if I still have like church friends anymore, man. Like I know I've connected with a lot of people through church, but I wouldn't say they're my closest friends anymore. Like the closest friends that I've had, I've met outside of church.
Do you feel like, well, obviously you're still religious.
Yeah.
But do you feel like a disconnect, or like, how do you practice your faith basically?
I mean, I still go to church. So,
you do?
Yeah. Like I said this before too. I got the body of Christ, but the mouth of Satan. And I, you know,
well, Christ hung out with prostitutes, tax collectors, and the filth of the earth.
And I represent that to the max.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird, you know, because people, I don't know how I kind of see religion as this is like, it's individualistic too, you know? I just kind of let people be like, it's like that whole thing of like, you catch more bees with honey than you do water. And I can only walk the walk to how the best I can do it.
Yeah.
And I still go to church, you know, I get my refresher. I try my best. You know, I do get busy a lot, and I'm out of town on Sundays. So the church that I go to is right around the corner. I try to go maybe once or twice a month. But I keep it up. I listen to a lot of online sermons, and it keeps me grounded. That's the thing that I love about church that it did for me. Maybe not for everybody else. I don't know. You know, but for me, it always keeps me grounded, and it humbles the fuck out of me, man.
Yeah, I see like so many people, their experience is different.
Yeah.
Like you can't overall blanket Christianity and say all over the world it's going to be the same. Like no, like my experience is completely different from yours.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like I'm no longer religious in that sense, but it doesn't keep me away from being a spiritual person. Like I do believe in a higher being, and I do believe like there's more meaning than just being a human being that's existing.
Yeah.
But there's a purpose for us to, you know, be kind and love one another and all those things. I think the things that I grew up with, the Christian values,
it has stuck around.
It stuck around, yeah. But then having a relationship with a higher being, whether this entity is communicated through Christianity or Buddhism or whatever, like I am not tied to one individual religious group because at the end of the day, it's a human being trying to communicate or trying to explain this connection they have with this spiritual being.
Yeah. And it's not in my position or place. So if somebody comes up to me, they go, you know, Christianity is fucking stupid, and they call me retarded or something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and debate with them about it, because I can't. Faith is just that. It's faith.
It is.
I can't quantify it for you.
But that's good that you don't take it personal, because a lot of people take it personal.
I can't take it personal, man. Like I can't, because once again, because I believe it pertains to the individual. I can't sit there and debate with you on it, because number one, if they go, your stuff is not based on facts. Probably, yeah. You know,
it's faith-based.
You're 100% right, bro. That's not faith is not facts. So I can't sit there and have that argument with somebody, and it's not worth it either.
Yeah.
My thing is too, like, bro, just don't shit on me for it, and I'm not shitting on you for it. Don't be mad at me.
They probably had a shitty experience, and they're just taking it out on you.
Yeah, they're like,
when I became atheist for a moment, it was all just a reaction to how I was raised Christian style. Like it was me, like that's my only experience, and how much I have personal resentment against my individual church.
Yeah.
And the way that they did things. Like, but you know, there are other groups out there that are doing great things. And for me to not, you know, like being young and just resenting
the whole anarchy phase, man.
Yeah. Like I get it. And there are people that grew up in shitty situations where they got molested by pastors or whatever, right? And then it's like, but that's an individual's experience. That's not the whole religion is corrupt and fucked up.
And those negative experiences too, I call it, people are trying to find the shoe that fits.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, well, this is what I went through. 100% you did, man.
Yeah.
But you can't just, it's too easy to condemn a whole group for that type of stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna condemn billions of people. Like seriously, like they're all guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too easy to do it that way, man. Yeah. And It's hard. Like I said, it's going to take a lot of like personal soul searching on that kind of stuff, man. And you know that we always talk about this too, when it goes back to that mental health stuff, man. Take that time for yourself and figure that stuff out. Because if you're trying to focus your whole life on hating a whole group of people because of what you experienced personally, it's not rough on them. It's rough on you.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing yourself a fucking disservice at this point, dude. Because if somebody looks at me and they go, "Oh, you're Christian," ugh, all right, man, I can't really change that. I can't.
They're not saying that about you. They're saying about the people that try to force religion down their throat too.
Because
like you'll just be breathing in college and just eating a fucking sandwich, and there'll be like Westboro guys come up, fucking telling you God hates fags, or like there's like they used to come and picket our school.
Yeah,
they'll be like fucking like Christian club kids that are inspired to just spread the word of God, but they're so forceful and socially weird the way that they do it.
In Riverside too, there was this dude that was on campus that had a huge by what I mean huge, I mean fucking big, man. And if you guys went to Riverside, in like 06, 07, this dude that had this huge picket sign, and it had a huge sign that says like fags or whatever. I think it was like fags, sodomites are all gonna burn in hell. Yeah. Screaming that shit, man. And I always looked at this dude like, what are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
When you say that, do you really think that you're helping somebody?
Like someone's gonna go, oh, really? Well, thank you for telling me that, because now I had no fucking clue that I was gonna go to hell, but now I know. Thank you.
I was like, I wish I had known this before I was fucking somebody in the ass yesterday.
It's like, oh man.
It's wild, man. And I used to see that shit, and as a kid that grew up Christian, I never understood it. I never ever understood it. Here. I didn't get it. I'm like, yo, man, what are you trying to prove right now?
They're just crazy.
Yeah, some crazy ass people.
Fanatic. It's just fanatical, dude. And they're really like the minority here and the bad apples. Because for the most part, like people use religion as a way to just come together and
connect,
hang out,
learn life lessons,
socialize.
I had there was this group called KCCC, Korean Christian Crusaders for Christ, or something like that, right? Yo, this is a huge organization, like a college campus organization that's all over different, And there was another group called KCM, I believe, Korean Christian Ministry or Campus Ministry, and so it was funny because you would see their booth, right? So KCCC, albeit at the time from the one that I experienced, it was a lot of like, if you just looked at them, the greasy haired dweeby kids.
Yeah.
Very nice, very sweet, just down to earth, like chill people. And then on the other side, there was KCM, these motherfuckers over here with a soju bottle smoking cigarettes and shit, And I'm like, yo, aren't you guys both Christian? And they would try to recruit like Korean people or whatever. Funny. And they were so different in their approach. And so when I went to KCCCC because I didn't really vibe with the KCM people. They just seemed like a bunch of posers. Trying to act like they're some tough guys and shit. I'm like, you guys are a fucking Christian group, dude. Chill the fuck out.
They're like, we love God, but we smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, like
we're bad.
Like on some tip like that, right? They just seemed like they were out to prove something that they weren't.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yo, let me check out this KCCC shit, whatever. I go
Gospel thugs.
Yeah. I believe in God, homie, but I'm still gonna bang, homie.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest with you, there's a lot of dudes like that.
There are.
A lot. And then I went to this KCCC thing, and so there was a girl named Anne Marie. She was a Filipino girl, and she was in my dorm, and we went there together, and we went to a sermon or whatever. And afterwards, she was exhausted, and she kind of leaned her head on my shoulder, right? And we're just chilling, and this guy comes up and he goes, "Hey man, we don't do that here." I was like, "Do what?" I was like, she goes, "Oh, you guys can't do like public affection stuff here." I was like, "Public? What do you mean public affection? Like we're not together." She's just tired. She's just resting her head on my shoulder. She goes, yeah, but that's not very, Christ-like. And I was like, and I got, this is during a time.
That's not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was very confrontational at this point at this age.
So you were just like.
I was like, show me in scripture. That's what I said. I was like, you show me in scripture where it says that this is wrong. Show me right now.
I think that's the biggest thing I have against religion is people use it as a way to kind of force their own ideals that has nothing to do with scripture.
Yes.
And then they make it seem as if you challenge them, that you're challenging God.
Yes.
So I think that's true for whether it's Buddhism or Islam or whatever. There's a lot of self-righteous people that don't know the difference between preference and culture and morals that they're just pressuring other people to follow. And if you challenge them, you're challenging God. And I absolutely hate that. That's why I had to run away from the church.
It was so weird because I didn't understand what they meant. And so that KCCC group, that one individually, I mean, like I said, I don't know how it was on other campuses, but in that campus, if you were going to be a part of KCCC, I think like in the first 2 years of your college experience, they told you that you weren't allowed to date.
Why?
Which I don't fucking know. Or I'm not sure if you weren't allowed. It was something along, it was scorned upon.
So they promote like celibacy.
Yeah, but that's not even celibacy. You can't be in a relationship or date in the first 2 years. I was like, what in part of the Bible did it say that? Where? Like you're creating your own rules.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
Yeah, like this is, it was such a weird concept for me. And that was my first taste of, I don't know if I like this religion anymore. But then I started to realize that I was judging the religion that I grew up with based on an individual's actions, you know, and I wasn't looking at the personal relationship that I had with whatever my faith in God, you know. So I had to learn that lesson the hard way because during that point of college, like, I stopped going to church because of that experience. Yeah, it made me feel.
I mean, I'm right there with you, man. I used to keep going to church, and my parents stopped going. Yeah, and then I would get taken to church by other church members, so I could still keep going and see my friends and stuff. But like, the older you get, you start waking up to certain things and you start asking questions. Yeah, like I was told,
and rightfully so. You should.
Yeah, but when I asked questions out of curiosity, I was treated as if I'm just being argumentative.
You talk shit about Jesus, homie?
Yeah, dude. And then like I'm just curious because I like to think and I like to talk and I like to figure things out, right? Like, and then one of the things was like I was told not to mingle and mix with people outside of the church, even Sunday worshipers, because they're corrupted by the devil. And I was like, there's a lot of genuine people that exist in this world that are not Christian. Yeah. And I was like, there's Buddhists out there. There's other people out there that I love that are my friends. Some are family members that aren't Seventh-day Adventists. Yeah. How come they're condemned just because they don't go to church on Saturday? Yeah. And I said that, and then they're like, you're being like trouble.
You're being blasphemous.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, answer the fucking question. That's what I was thinking in my head is like, answer the question. And I realized as a little kid, I was like 13 at the time or 14. I was like, man, they don't know the answer. I was like, they feel the pressure from me just asking a simple question because they can't think and they're too damn dumb.
Because they didn't question it themselves.
Exactly. So when they're confronted with that, they're like, holy shit, how do I answer that?
You can see the bolts and steam come out their head.
Yeah. But you should be able to talk openly and freely and question things.
That's what I like about...
That should make your relationship with your religion stronger. The more people give you questions and the more you can answer it openly and honestly, right? But I just didn't go to a church that can do that.
Yeah, I think I went to a church that was the opposite of that. Like we had a lot of guest speakers that came in, and there was a guy named Pastor Alex. He was like this traveling pastor, and he was talking about just not so much questioning your religion, but ask questions. Yeah. Because there's going to be times where you are going to doubt your religion, but if you don't explore that and you don't come back from that, then your faith wasn't that strong in the first place. So I think it is up to you to question your religion and have questions and have them answered.
That's why I kind of feel like what I went through is a little bit of a cult. Okay. A little bit.
You son of a bitch. Don't you dare question, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, think about it, dude. We're encouraged to go through the private school system of the church. Yeah. Associate and hang out with only members of the church. Yeah. Marry within the church. Uh-huh. Everybody outside is tainted. Like that to demon. Me sounds like some cult shit. Because what we're taught is love everybody and bring everybody together. But it's like bring everybody under the religion. That doesn't make sense, right? It's like if you do have love for everybody, and if God says unconditional love your enemies, love your neighbor, everything's about unconditional love the people that you hate, whatever. If that's true, then you shouldn't be like, well, only my Seventh-day Adventists and everybody else, fuck you guys, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because you guys are going to hell and I'm not. You know, like, what is that?
There's some interesting things too. Like I've kind of noticed a lot, especially in a lot of mega churches in LA, because I shopped around for different churches to see which one I liked.
Yeah.
And I found something very fascinating, dude. Churches too, depending on which one you go to, some of it's just a fucking business, man. Like,
it's a big business.
A fucking huge multi-million-dollar business.
It's like, give me money and I'll make you feel better. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's and it was so different from the churches that I grew up in, and that's the reason why, albeit they probably struggled financially, because they were focused more on the teachings of the religion than they were about grabbing people in for their money, and which is what I grew up with. So when I came to LA, that was another big test that I had. I was like, damn, fuck these churches, man. The money grubbing sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Why are these fucking pastors talking about, like, I'm trying to help people out, but you got a multi-million-dollar mansion, dude?
Well, it makes, because they basically enable and make a lot of the greedy people feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, you deserve that expensive car. You deserve this and that. And they're like, oh, yeah. And then they feel good. So they give more offering because they feel like they're giving to God because deep down inside, they do feel guilty for their greed or whatever it is.
I'm used to like the pastors that I grew up with, like even my dad, right? So when my dad started up a church in Sacramento, because we had our own business, he was one of like the deacons there, and he started up that church with one of his close friends. He didn't take a paycheck from the church.
Damn.
At all. Ever.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah, because he had his own source of income.
Yeah.
And we weren't even rich either. It's not like our family couldn't have used it.
Yeah.
But my dad did it, and he worked at that church tirelessly. And I really respect that about him and a lot of the other members of the church, all those deacons. Like, I really respected that out of them, And so when I saw the opposite that happened in some of the, and I'm not saying they don't work hard, but it always made me feel weird when I saw, making seven figures is definitely living beyond your regular means. Like,
I don't think a pastor should ever make seven figures.
Yeah, I believe that they should make a good living because they are doing a shit ton of work.
Yeah.
But seven figures.
I mean, when it comes to religion, I personally it makes me feel weird about rock star religious people.
Yeah, they're rock stars. That's what they are. They start to become these rock stars
because they're too powerful.
Yeah,
they're not. To me, I feel like they're not servicing the higher peoples. I mean the spirits.
It seems like they're servicing themselves.
Exactly.
They're basically sucking their own fucking dick.
They're taking the attention away from the spirits.
I saw this too, and it was so I went to this church. And I was so curious because there was a person that in the crowd that asked, so within the Protestant religion, homosexuality is a sin, right? So stealing and all that other stuff, right? And this person asked the pastor, this is what he says. He goes, so what is the Christian belief on homosexuality and what is your opinion on it, right? And he goes, is it a sin or is it not? And
it's in the Bible. It's a sin.
He didn't say that though.
Oh.
This is what he said. He goes, there are people who are gay that come to this church and I love them too. And, I grew up with, some people who are gay, and he was like,
why can't he just admit that it's a sin?
He wouldn't do it.
Because I would have just been like, yes, it's a sin. Just like lying is a sin, which we all do. So we all live with sin.
So he was, I was like, what is he, wait, hold on a second. What is he doing? And then they asked again. And this person said to this pastor, he goes, that's not what I asked. They go, what I'm asking is what is your opinion and what does the church say about it? And he goes back to it again, beats around the bush. Well, I've had homosexual people come up to me and say that they love this church. And the person was like, yo,
he's basically saying, I don't want to lose my customers.
That's what he was saying.
I don't want to lose my customers.
And I lost so much respect for him, dude, because no matter whether I agree or disagree with what he was going to say, as a religion, you should have a stance.
Yeah.
Or as anybody with a certain, have a fucking stance, dude, and be able to defend it.
Yeah.
Or not even defend it, just you weren't worried about what your beliefs were. You were worried about losing your customers.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit, this is a business. Boom. A boom moment for me, dude.
Dang.
And I looked at this pastor saying, like, you could have just said, yes, it's a sin in the religion, but we're also a faith about love. And everybody's welcome here, man. Mm-hmm. Everybody's welcome here. Mm-hmm. Like, you're welcome here. Let's all love each other.
And who hasn't? Like, everyone broke something in the Bible.
Yo, man, I'm breaking shit all day.
Yeah.
And
even thoughts about sinning is actually a sin itself.
Yeah.
It's like So, I mean, who is without sin? Like, I mean, and why can't you just admit that it is?
Yeah. Why can't you say
Sex before marriage is a sin.
sin.
Lying is a sin. Like everything that we do is already a sin.
within the religion, you
Yeah.
know? And I gotta say too, like I can't, even in that, I can't judge every church for that, what that guy did. I can't say every church is like that either.
No.
This is not a nebulous statement or a comment. I'm just saying what I saw
Right.
that made me feel of a certain way about this church, and which is why I left it.
Yeah.
Because I felt like people, and also at this church, they talked about tithing way too much.
So you knew it was the business. When they passed the offering table more than one time during a sermon, I'm just like, this is not that kind of
Dude, the dude talked about tithing, I think, like 9 out of 10 times I was
my
there.
God.
Like, bro, we get it. You want 10% of the fucking paycheck. I fucking get it. Can you get to the fucking sermon, dude? Like, that's what it was constantly about.
You know what I do like about mega churches though?
What?
They are entertaining as
They got money.
Yeah, they got like angels flying from the sky and shit. They got full on bands.
Yo, that
like,
fucking video of that dude on the fucking cable coming down, floating,
Yeah.
and then he had to be spun back around and shit.
dude, I've been to one where there's like basketball courts.
Yeah.
There's like swimming pools. It's just so fun, man.
The fucking Korean church that I went to as a kid,
Yeah.
when we used to play ball, it was at this back area at the church lot that had weeds, crack. There was no basketball net,
Yeah.
rusted as shit. At that place, they tore that shit down and they built a fucking basketball court, indoor basketball
Oh
court.
my God.
That's how much money that church has now.
Damn.
Where the fuck was that when I was a kid, dude?
Well, they changed their business practices, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, anything. See, that's a huge part for me when it comes to religion. It's like I feel kind of sick in the way that people get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
So a lot of people join religion because, you know, they're lonely, they're hurt, they need help, and they might receive some type of community warmth and stuff that they need through religion. But there are a lot of people that take advantage of that power and of that ignorance.
Because there's corrupt human beings.
Exactly.
People aren't perfect, you know, and to the credit of, Christianity that I've been a part of,
Yeah.
I've learned a lot from it as a human being.
Yeah.
And I think that to that religion's credit, it did help mold a lot of values in my life that I still keep till this day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I definitely don't think I would have been who I am today without it. In terms
Yeah.
of a lot of the positivity that
And
I
there's a
took
lot
away
of
from
great
it.
memories that you build,
Oh,
like
yeah.
community, the sense of belonging.
The sense of giving is what I received a lot
Right.
from Christianity.
and what you're supposed to do in this world, the sense of purpose.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those things I hold on to till this day. There's definitely a lot of negativity from human beings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, because it's so prevalent everywhere you go, I went through this journey where I try to look for a good church and all that stuff, and it's full of so many stupid people that
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can't do this, man.
Yeah. It's hard, man.
I don't. There's no perfect church, really. There's no perfect group.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, there's gonna be politics and drama and stupidity because a lot of people are stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So sometimes it's just better to have a spiritual connection with you and your beliefs and keep it separate from kind of dogma or institutionalism and just like
Yeah.
groups.
I've learned, one of the things that I learned that I still keep till this day, that my dad taught to me as well, which was a part of like, it's giving wholeheartedly. Like, if you're going to give something to somebody, don't expect something in return.
Yeah.
And I always loved that shit. When I lent out money to people, it was always because I gave it to them because I didn't expect that to be returned back to me.
Wow. That's a real, damn, you real Christ-like right there. I'm like Judas, bro. Okay. Who's that tax collector? Was it Judas? I forgot.
It was a disciple, but it wasn't
yeah.
Judas.
Yeah. I'm just playing.
Yeah, but then I wanted to because it also strains like relationships, right?
It does.
So
Yeah.
if somebody came up to me, and mind you, I'm not saying that I'm screening the person that's asking for the money too. Like, I know who this human being is, right? So I know this person is trying hard. I know that they're going through issues where they need to borrow money, and yeah, I'll do it. They'll come up like, yo, I need $500, and it's hard for them. I can see them it's like, it's hard to push it out their own fucking teeth to ask me for money. And I give it to them, and I'll pay you back. I'm like, sure, go ahead. Whenever you want, don't even worry about it. And after that, it's out of mind, out of sight. If
You don't collect.
No. If they do pay me back, thank you very much. Like I have a friend right now, like arguably I probably lent him a total of like maybe $3 or $4 grand over the period of like our friendship. I don't expect that back. I don't expect him to give it back to me.
Yeah.
He's going through his own stuff. He has his own journey. And when he
maybe
he
one
will.
day
Maybe one day.
he'll learn, and then he'll,
And even if he doesn't, I don't give a fuck. You know, I had the financial stability to lend that money out and still be okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I think about.
What's the time?
Oh, it is. Yo, shit. How long were we talking for? It was 40 minutes.
So let's just call it the religion one. I got to pee really bad, so we could just
go ahead. Go pee.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to end it really quick, and then we'll cut it and just call it the religion one?
Yeah. So if for like these things too, like in the future, like you don't even have to stop like that because I want this to go all the way through. Okay. You could just decide to end the podcast whenever you want.
Oh, okay.
Just go like, all right, guys. So that's the
I
podcast.
got to pee really bad then.
Yeah. So you got to pee and then end it.
Okay. I'll pee and then end it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. This was a really, really awesome episode, but I got to pee so bad. And I think we covered a lot about religion, and we never really got this deep about Christianity and our personal experiences. So I think it was really good because a lot of people were asking us how we felt and what our personal experience was. Because there's a lot of people out there that are religious, and sometimes I think they feel attacked or they feel like kind of weird when I talk about how I left the church and stuff like that. Yeah. Which it has nothing to do with your guys' experience or anything.
It's not a personal attack.
It's not right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's just that was, my choice and what I went through. Well, that's pretty much it. But thanks for joining us on this episode of Genius Brain. I gotta pee so bad. So I'll talk to you later.
Peace.